Hey kids, Flexing Teacher Weber here. Hope you're having a good day. Your last assignment you worked on was learning about exponents and writing numbers in exponential form. And we looked at exponential form, repeated multiplication, and standard form. We did some work with the parts of an exponent, and we calculated some exponents both as repeated multiplication and in standard form. Then we wrote some numbers as powers of 10. That's going to take us into today now. To figure out the area of a circle, we have to know about exponents. At the very least, we have to know about numbers to the power of 2. So the math equation to find the area of a circle is A stands for area, equals pi. We know pi is the number approximately 3.14. Pi times the radius of the circle squared, and that's where that exponent squared comes in there. Now, in Shobi today, I put a video link showing you how this math equation was discovered. It's not something I can really do on this video, so I've included a link that shows you how this math equation was discovered or where this math equation comes from. If you want to watch that, you can. But in this video that I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you how to use this math equation to calculate the area of a circle. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So the instruction, it says, use the area math equation to estimate and calculate the area of each circle. So the math equation, the first thing I'm going to do is the estimate. Now, the math equation to calculate the area of a circle is A, capital A for area, equals pi times the radius squared. And remember, we don't use the multiplication symbol anymore because that could get confusing because we have all these variables in here. So since we're estimating in this question, we're going to be rounding off our numbers to the nearest whole number. So working down the page, I'm going to round off pi to 3. And I'm going to be multiplying that, so I'm going to put parentheses around it. And the radius of this circle, remember the radius is that half the diameter, so the radius of this circle is 2. So I'm going to replace the r with 2, and this is squared. And this is why we have to know our exponents now. We have to follow order of operations. An order of operations says you do the exponent before the multiplication. So working down the page, we would do A equals 3. And 2 to the power of 2 means 2 times 2, which is 4. And then we multiply that, and we get A equals 12 centimeters squared. And what that means is in this circle, we could fit 12 squares that have centimeter sides on them. Area is the amount of space that takes up. But that's an approximate answer. That's the estimate. So now, let's calculate that. Calculate means to find the exact answer. Same math equation, A equals pi times the radius squared, but this time we're not rounding anything off. So this is going to be A. Remember, we use 3.14 for pi. And the radius is still 2. And that's squared. We do the exponent first. A equals 3.14. And that's 4. And then we work that out. A equals 12.56 centimeters squared. That's the exact answer, and you can see that that's very close to the estimate. So again, it's just using a math equation to make a calculation. Let's do another one. Okay, so we've got a circle that has a radius of 3 meters. Okay, and if we're going to estimate this, we'll write estimate, and we'll write our math equation, A equals pi multiplied by the radius squared. But since we're estimating, we're going to round pi from 3.14 to 3. So a equals 3 for pi. The radius is 3, so multiplied by 3 squared. Working down the page, a equals 3. We have to do the exponent first, so 3 squared means 3 times 3, which is 9. And that means a will be approximately 27 meters squared. That's the estimate. Now to calculate it. Calculate means do the exact answer. So it will be close to 27 meters squared. We use the exact same math equation for area of a circle. Area equals pi times the radius squared. Area equals 3.14, and the radius is still 3 times 3 squared, right? We don't round pi off this time because we're getting the exact answer. Working down the page, we do a equals 3.14 times 9. And a equals 28.26 meters squared. You can see that that's very close to the estimate. This is the exact answer. This is the approximate answer. It's the same thing every time, using the same math equation to calculate area of a circle. Okay, let's do another one. All right, this one's a touch different. Now look at this one. In this question, we're not given the radius of the circle, we're given the diameter of the circle. The diameter, small d, is 10 centimeters. We need the radius to calculate the area of a circle. So remember, radius is half the diameter. So that means in this question, the radius will be 5 centimeters. And now we use our math equation. We will estimate first. So always start with your math equation. A equals pi times the radius squared. A equals, we're estimating, so we're going to round pi from 3.14 to 3. Times the radius squared. Well, we discovered that the radius is 5 centimeters, so times 5 squared. Area equals 3 times. We have to do the 5 squared first. 5 squared means 5 times 5 is 25. Area equals 3 times 25 is 75. This is centimeters squared. Approximately, right? It's not the exact answer, it's an estimate. Now we'll do the exact answer. We'll say calculate. And it's almost the exact same thing, but we don't round off pi. So a equals pi times the radius squared. A equals 3.14 times 5 squared. A equals 3.14 times 25. And a equals 78.5 centimeters squared. Okay, so the only thing that was different in this one is we were given the diameter and we had to figure out the radius first because we need to know the radius for our area math equation. Okay, last question. Number 4. We've got a circle that has a diameter of 8 centimeters, right? Because the diameter goes all the way through. So we know diameter of this circle is 8 centimeters. The radius has to be half of that, so the radius of the circle will be 4 centimeters. Okay, same thing as before. Let's do an estimate of the area of this circle. So math equation, area equals pi times the radius squared, but since we're estimating, we're going to round 3.14 to 3 times the radius, which is 4 squared. Area equals 3 times 4 squared means 4 times 4, which is 16. And area equals 48 centimeters squared, approximately, because it was an estimate. And now to calculate. I'll write the area math equation. Area equals pi r squared. Area equals 3.14 times 4 squared. Area equals 3.14 times 16. And area equals 50.24 centimeters squared. So, to calculate the area of a circle, you have to figure out the radius of that circle, whether you're given the radius or if you're given the diameter, you have to take half to get the radius. And then you use the math equation, area equals pi times the radius squared. And that's why we need to know about exponents, because you need to know how to do a number squared. And then you make sure you put the units of measurement on the end, which are always in units squared. This is the last thing we will do in grade 7 this year, kids, is calculating and estimating the area of a circle. So finish up that assignment, and that'll be the last assignment you do in grade 7 mathematics this year. Hope all this made sense. Flexing Teacher Weber, out.